Hi, so this is Jillian from Get Living Raw Foods and Wellness Coaching. Today I thought I would bring in essential oils. Essential oils have found, I don't know as much as Vita knows, and I'll introduce you to her in a few minutes. It's something that I know I need to understand more of, and I thought, well, as I'm learning, you may as well learn along with me. So I just want to introduce you to Vita. Vita is the founder and CEO of Solicious Living, and specializes in yoga. And I've been to her yoga classes. They are amazing. I feel so fantastic after doing her yoga classes. She specializes in meditation. She's a happiness and wellness coach. I mean, isn't that amazing? A happiness and wellness coach. I think we can all do it. But and as you can see, she is a very happy and well person.
Most of the time.
Yeah, well, we all have our moments. She also specializes in self-love. And in fact, we did a yoga retreat.
We did.
Yeah, and I did the food, all raw plant-based foods. And it was based on self-love, wasn't it?
It was a happiness and self-love retreat with yoga. Yeah, it was pretty amazing.
It was beautiful. Lots of tears and happy tears. And I was
expansion.
It was good. I think everybody came away. I know everybody came away feeling fantastic and changed. So, and I love working with Rita, of course. And she also specializes in aromatherapy. Actually, something really exciting she has coming up. She's been writing a book, and which is exciting. And it's Embrace You, Love Yourself Happy, a guide to soulful self-love. I think we all need that. And I guess that's coming up. So something we can
so definitely be on the lookout for that. I'm hoping to get it finished. It's halfway done, but to get it finished and out there by the end of the year, but fingers crossed.
Yes, I know. I've been
juggling a lot.
Yeah, I've been working on a book too, and it's amazing, the interruptions.
I know.
I know. Because we have life. And Vita is also a mother of this most amazing little boy. Mm-hmm. He's so cute.
Thank you.
And she does an amazing job. She's a single mom and works really hard. So today we're actually going to talk about essential oils, because she actually, to me, if I think of essential oils, I think of Vita. And she is such a wealth of knowledge. She specializes in it. She actually sells it. She is and she can talk about what she does as well. So today we just want to talk about essential oils and healing.
Yeah.
So I'm going to let Vita do what she does.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jillian. I love this. So just to share with you a little bit more about essential oils, and since I'm kind of teaching you, I'm also teaching the audience who'll be watching, which is amazing. I've been using essential oils for, since I graduated as a certified holistic health practitioner in 2000 and, I'm going back now, 2009, and then started to really use the oils in 2011 when I moved to this area, who introduced me to the product. She was a chartered herbalist. Her name was Deborah, and started using them really therapeutically. And then when I was pregnant, I used them pretty much all throughout my pregnancy. And since then, it's almost been a decade. I've been just incorporating oils into my life, from just with anything that I need, anything that I deal with on a day-to-day basis, my oils are right beside me. So I've got some oils that I'll show you now, but this is my little travel kit of oils that I travel with and take everywhere with me. So I've got about 12 different oils in there, sometimes more, that I fill that little package with. And so if I ever need anything for pain or inflammation or bruising or cuts and scrapes or burns, calming, I've got my little travel kit with me.
And actually, I remember, I think the first time I met Vita, because our next door neighbor, she happens to be related to, somebody broke their ankle. Maybe it was you sprained your ankle.
I can't remember who it was.
With somebody. I remember someone going running to Vita's car to get oils. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. Oils for a twisted ankle or something. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Yeah. So she literally does use that.
Yes, I do. So I just want to cover just sort of, for people who don't know much about essential oils, I want to just make it really simple and really easy for you to learn how to use them, because I think it's really important for those of you who don't know much about essential oils that there are really, really some really simple ways that you can use them. So the first thing I want to just share with you is 3 cool ways, or what the 3 cool things are about essential oils. So number 1, Jillian, is that they're totally safe and effective. So people who are unsure of what they are, they're actually derived from 100% natural plants, trees. So anything that you think of in nature, that's what essential oils are. So what happens is they're actually distilled, and then if you think about the bark, roots, stems, flowers, flower petals, whatever part of the tree or the plant, that all gets distilled and then through the specific process that then creates a volatile liquid, which is actually the plant, like the plant bloodline or the bloodline of the plant, which actually ends up being our essential oil. So what is
Yeah.
in here is actually the volatile liquid from the plant life.
And
Okay?
I love that the bloodline. I mean, that's really
Yeah,
says it all, right? The life is in the blood.
So yeah, so 100% natural and safe. There's absolutely no side effects or addiction. So unlike different types of pharmaceutical meds, can tend to be addictive properties in them. So they also, like I mentioned, are extracts from plants which have amazing health benefits. And the oils that I specifically use, I make sure that they are, or I know that they are grade A, therapeutic grade A oils. So if you're going to use oils in a therapeutic way, you definitely want to make sure that they're grade A. And so unfortunately,
And why is that?
because that's going to be the type of oil that has all of the natural medicinal properties in that oil, because any other oil that you may get off a consumer shelf, unfortunately can't be guaranteed grade A. And so therefore you're getting the byproduct of a grade A distillation, which means that it could be grade B, grade C, or grade D oils. And unfortunately, in Canada, in order to stay pure on the bottle, it only needs to have like a small percentage.
Okay.
So,
And does it say that on these? Is that
so they're 100% pure on the bottle. So I use a specific brand of oils that you can inquire about later. But I know that by using this brand, I know that they're safe and effective. And because I've been using oils for so long, I've done my research. I've looked into a number of different manufacturers and things like that, and so I know that I can feel rest assured that the products that I use are grade A. So it has to be very specific in the processes of distillation in order to ensure that the medicinal properties and the therapeutic grade, like the therapeutic properties of the oil, don't get compromised. And unfortunately, when you don't deal with a grade A oil, those properties do get compromised. So therefore, that oil can be great for diffusing or like inhaling or just for scenting your home, but it's not going to be great for specific things like therapeutic purposes.
interesting?
Yeah. So oils, for example, like just to give you a little example, I have peppermint with me. I know you guys can't smell the peppermint, but peppermint is a really energizing oil that also promotes clear breathing. It actually helps to cool the body temperature. It also is a great oil that's known to relieve tension and stress. So, not stress, but tension specifically, just built up tension. So, or head tension, I want to say, head tension. So what I typically do with an oil, if I want to, and I'll get into the actual couple of different ways that you can use the oil. This is one, obviously. So what I've just done is I put a drop of the peppermint oil directly on my hand, and I'm going to rub my hands together in a clockwise motion, and then I'm going to cup my hands right over my nose, taking a couple deep breaths. So I wouldn't typically stop. I would actually inhale this for six deep breaths. So what happens is there's a whole process that happens when we direct inhale oils. It actually goes into the limbic part of the brain, which sets off a chemical reaction, which I think we'll do in another video, and we'll talk about how the oils affect us on an emotional level, because through direct inhalation, there's a lot of really amazing things that happen when actually oils are directly inhaled. It actually sends off really awesome chemical reactions in the brain, similar to like working out and moving our body, which actually helps the emotional response in our body and helps the nervous system. And I think we're going to do another
we'll
video,
do another
right?
one, because I think that's that's what I do. I'm as well. I'm very much about that connection, and so that would be really good. I do it with food and with changing habits, but it would be really nice to be able to incorporate and understand.
Yeah, it's actually one of the areas of the oils, Jillian, that I love to share with people, because I'm as a holistic practitioner and a yoga and meditation teacher. I really find that the oils work on the emotional aspects of that essential oils for emotions. They help to relieve tension and stress, and they actually shift energy. And so I'd love to talk to you more about that in a later video.
Actually, when Vita always does her yoga, you always have some essential oils.
I do, yes. So I incorporate my oils into my yoga classes most of the time.
And I know you've said, I wonder what the mood is, or what do you say? what we
what
should
am I
do.
feeling? Like
Right.
what's the energy that I'm picking up today? And then
Yeah.
I go based on that. And a lot of times too, just to throw this in, just for fun sakes, oils can be really just like you can just look. So I have a collection of oils. Not a lot of people have the collection that I have, but oftentimes there's so many oils in front of me that I don't know what I need to use in that moment. And so sometimes I just intuitively ask, like, what oil am I drawn to? Excuse me, and I just let my hand kind of guide over my collection, and I just pick one, and without really knowing why I've picked it, I'll just use it just because I know that my higher self is telling me that that's the oil that I need. And so when I go back and look in my book and actually determine what that oil is used for, what the emotional connection is, it's actually always really resonant,
Oh,
which is
isn't
really
that,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
So just moving on to the second cool thing, or the second really neat thing about oils and how to use them. So I'm going to now just move on to the next thing about essential oils, and that they're really effective. So they're more effective than modern approaches to health problems. And what happens is essential oils actually permeate the cell membrane. So if you think of the cell membrane sort of being like this, right? The actual cell is in the center and there's the membrane around it. So when we have viruses or when we fight viruses and bacteria, the bacterial infections or bacteria is held on the outside of the cell membrane. It can't actually penetrate the cell membrane because it's an oily membrane typically. And so when we think of viruses, they actually are able to penetrate through the cell membrane and actually get into the center of the cell. And so that's what starts to like wreak havoc on our body and starts to like kind of create the malfunction. So when you think of essential oils, the oils actually are able to penetrate that oily cellular membrane to actually get right to the root cause of the virus or to start attacking the virus inside the cell membrane, and does the same with the bacteria. So when you think of pharmaceutical, often what's prescribed is like they're more water soluble products or water soluble material, and that can't actually penetrate through the cell membrane in order to attack the virus. Hence, your doctor will tell you, oh, it's just a virus, go home and let it run its course, right? So when we're dealing with essential oils, what they do is they actually help to support our natural own body's healing ability. So it actually can go through cell membranes to fight the viruses right away and helps to create this healing effect in the body, which is so super cool. So things like On Guard, which is an oil that I carry all the time, which we're going to talk about a little bit more in just a bit. On Guard is an oil that I use, especially in this time of year, right here where we are. It's snowy and wet and rainy and it's winter, so a lot of viruses and a lot of infections can go around quickly in this type of season for whatever reason, and people get sick more often. So this is an awesome oil because it actually promotes stronger immunities, especially with all the craziness going on in the world. Jillian, this is exactly what I use for myself and my little guy, so to keep our immunity really strong.
So you put it in your hand and smell it?
Yeah, so there's a whole
nice.
bunch of things I can do. So I can direct inhale it. I can put it in my diffuser. I rub it on my son's feet. I can take a drop and just literally take it and put it in water and then drink it. So lots of different ways that we can use the oil.
Can you ingest all the oils that you have?
Well, ingesting is something that I don't want to necessarily promote publicly, but if you're dealing with a grade A oil, then definitely, and you know the source of where it's coming from, then absolutely. I would not recommend that you ingest any oil. You definitely want to do your research. And here's the thing. In oils, they are plant material, and every living thing has a chemical constituent to it. So not all natural chemicals can be good for the body. So if they're taken in large doses, they can actually wreak havoc on the system. Now, that's in extreme. Like if I were to drink a bottle of wintergreen, it's probably going to be really toxic for my body and probably be deadly. So what we don't want to do is we want to do our research. So if I've got oregano or lemon, or I've got orange, or I've got thyme, any of those food grade oils, 100%, Jillian, I am actually using them internally. I am using them in my baking. I'm using them in my cooking. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
If they're grade A and you know exactly where they're coming from and they're 100% pure, 100%, you can ingest. But again, with that being said, I don't want to have any liability suits against me, but you need to do your research. So again, I would never suggest or recommend ingesting any oils and or store-bought oils. So you want to know who you're talking to, what oils you're using, and you want to do your research. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Absolutely. I know I do use
Yeah.
oils in my my foods as well.
Yeah. So On Guard is just a really great example of promoting healthy immune function. It's also great for like soothing sore throats. And it's also amazing for cleansing. So this is called On Guard, and in this On Guard blend, it actually has wild orange, clove, cinnamon, eucalyptus, and rosemary. So some pretty potent, pretty strong immune boosting properties, all combined into one oil, which is awesome. So if you think of what it's doing to my system in my body, imagine what it's doing to my house, right? It's getting rid of like all the toxins and pathogens and like kills all the germs. So it's a really great oil for cleaning as well.
So for cleaning, like cleaning things, or or is it
No, you can diffuse it to kill pathogens in the air, or to clear cleanse the air, but also just for cleaning. So it's actually, you can actually use the oil as like your cleaning product.
Oh, totally cool.
Yeah, really cool. So again, when you're looking at an oil like On Guard, it's not, some of its natural medicinal properties would be that it's a natural antiseptic, it's an antiviral, it's an anti-infectious, it's an antibacterial. So there's so many different medicinal properties that are found in majority of the oils, and On Guard is that one that's high in those kinds of properties.
Yeah, it sounds like that's something that I think we should all have, especially, this time of year we're hearing of so many rumors of these crazy viruses going on. Yeah, so wouldn't that be a good thing for all of us to have? Eh?
Well, yeah, I try not to let fear take over, and the media, unfortunately, there's lots of stuff happening, but I feel safer, I guess, that I know that I'm doing all the right things for my family and I'm taking my supplements and I'm drinking lots of water and washing my hands all the time and encouraging my little guy to do the same. But also, knowing that I'm ingesting this on a regular basis, or I'm out, diffusing it or inhaling it, and, regardless of the ways that you use the oil, it's good. They're going to work for you. But yeah, and I'm doing this with my little guy too, to just help keep his immunity strong as well. So yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah. So, and then the last really great thing about essential oils is that they're affordable. Some people, they look at the price and they're like, oh my gosh, these are too expensive. Well, if you think about the time that you spend to see the doctor, the time that you have to take off, the travel to your doctor and back, the prescriptions that we have to pay for, all of those things we take into account. It could be, who knows how much it could be. It could, we're lucky in Canada that we have OHIP and that we have, a good portion of our medical care taken care of for us, but it still adds up, right? Our time equals money. And so when we think about essential oils, they're so affordable, so affordable. So they're actually more affordable than traditional Medicare. And so they actually end up being pennies per dose, which is amazing, because if you're dealing with a grade A pure oil, then you only need to use 1 to 2 drops per application.
Which is amazing.
Right? So
yeah. And pharmaceuticals cause your body to become more and more toxic the more you take. So taking something that's not toxic for your body.
Right. And in a 15 ml bottle like this, it's actually got anywhere between 180 to 250 drops in a bottle.
Yeah.
So like a bottle like this might last, 6 months to a year, depending on how often I'm using it. So in reality, we're actually saving hundreds of dollars by using essential oils, and they also act as a preventative. So we're seeing the doctor less. We're going into emerge less. We're using less medication. We're using less over-the-counter drugs because we don't need to, because our bodies are more in a homeostasis kind of place, right? More in a balanced place.
Yeah. Wow. Nice. What not to love.
Yeah. So you're probably wondering, okay, so we talked a little bit about direct inhalation. So some of the ways to use essential oils, and I'm just going to cover that. So already we covered direct inhalation, which is what I did with the peppermint. We put a drop in my hand, and then we directly cupped my hands over my nose, and we inhaled that oil. And what actually, I didn't let you do that, did you?
No.
So here, if you want to try. So you just put a drop in your hand, just 1 drop again, and just think of it this way. So when you're doing something like peppermint, you actually only need 1 drop. 1 drop of peppermint is equivalent to 25 bags of peppermint tea. That is how potent and concentrated these oils actually are. Yeah. Right? And so how do you feel when you inhale?
Peppermint has always been so, like, you can just actually feel it just permeating even your mind as well, your brain.
Right.
But just open up the lungs. Oh yeah, it feels amazing.
Yeah. So many.
Oh, I can just feel it. Actually feels fantastic.
Right. And do you find like it's an energizing?
Beautiful. You just feel more clarity.
So like peppermint is just such an energizing, invigorating oil, and that's often what oils do for us. They actually change or shift energy. They shift or they change like emotional states. And so you just you just experimented with peppermint, and you were just a testimonial of what inhaling peppermint can do for you, right? So direct inhalation would be considered a way that you can use the oils. And so depending on what oil you want to use and or why you're using the oil, you would just do the exact same thing. Take a drop in your hand, rub your hands together, and then take 6 deep breaths. So when I say 6, kind of an average number, anything less, you're still going to get the same effect, but you definitely want to allow the brain to really take that in. So what happens is there's a whole process, a whole chemical reaction that I said, which goes into, so direct inhalation, we go in through the nose of smelling into the olfactory bulb, which is connected to the limbic part of the brain, which is actually the center of our emotion and memory. And then so it does all these really cool things to the brain when we directly inhale the oils, which I think we talked about. We're going to talk about in another video. Yeah. So that's one way that we can use the oil. That's called direct inhalation. The other way is a way that most people use the oils if they are using oils at all in their home, and that's aromatically. So a lot of people now are buying diffusers, and just for like the smelling your home and just making, getting away from like chemical created candles and things like that. You can just use the oils in a diffuser. And you just, depending on the kind of diffuser, it can be water-based. You just add the oil into the water, and it just evaporates into the air, and then you have this beautiful smelling room in your house. Yeah, nice. And can also affect energy and things like that just by inhaling the oil too. So lots of really like inhaling it through the aromatic process of diffusing. Okay. Yes. So if you're looking to like positively affect a room, or you're like teaching, or for me, when I'm teaching yoga, I might have a diffuser in the room to help the participants to really ground, depending on the oil that I'm using. But typically in a yoga class, I'm going to use a very grounding, very calming oil, and I'll put the diffuser on to help the participants to sort of feel that grounding or get those benefits.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, amazing.
And so the other really awesome way to use essential oils is topically. So if you have a bruise, or you've burned yourself, or you got to cut or scrape, or you have, you've got some tired muscles, or you've, I don't know, anything that's going on for you in the physical body, you can actually apply the oils directly to the body topically. And that in the aromatherapy world is actually called neat. So you can actually apply the oil directly to your skin. So lavender is an oil that I might use at night, for example, because it's got some really amazing calming benefits. So before bed, I'll rub some on my son's feet, on the bottom of his feet, because it does the same thing. It goes right into the feet and the reflex points of the feet. So it actually goes right into the bloodstream immediately. So, and I didn't cover this, but oils actually work within 4 to 6 seconds. They go directly into the bloodstream once you actually apply the oil topically to the skin. Yeah. So you can either just take a drop, rub it on my heart. I often just do that. Or you can actually blend it with a coconut oil or a carrier oil like coconut oil that actually can cover a larger area of the body. So I know when I, hurt myself and sprained my ankle years ago, I just applied oils right directly to my sprain, and it actually helped with stopping contusions and help with inflammation. So many amazing things.
Yeah, healing much faster.
Yeah. So you can apply directly to the affected area, look for localized benefits, and or you can dilute the oil as well, just with the carrier oil. So the other one way, which I think talked a little bit about it already, is ingestion. So taking the oils internally. So again, if you're dealing with a grade A oil, you know the source of where it's come from, and you can guarantee its purity, then absolutely, you can cook with your oils, you can bake with your oils, you can take in capsule form. The company that I deal with has a lot of different nutritional supplements that are actually already created or already made in capsule form. So peppermint, for example, is an oil that I might ingest if I'm having stomach upset or stomach flu. Yeah. And the company that I deal with actually already has peppermint capsules created. So instead of me making my own capsule with peppermint, I actually can just take a peppermint capsule from my company, and I can just ingest it like a
pill,
like a vitamin. Yeah, exactly, like a pill. Okay. Yeah. So do you have any questions?
No,
I know that's a lot of information.
It is. Yeah. No, that's actually very helpful. I mean, I do use a diffuser, and I when there's a particular issue, there's a few things I know that your basics are the eucalyptus for sure, frankincense. I love frankincense. Tabbouleh. What's the other one? Patchouli. Love tabbouleh. I like tabbouleh too. I make it. So I've known the basics. So that's actually been very helpful, and I certainly hope this has been helpful for you. And learning from an expert, I find I've been hearing a little bit from people, but to actually sit down and hear from an expert really helps. It saves a lot of time. So just encourage you, and especially what's the one that can help?
On Guard.
On Guard.
Yeah,
And that's something you
amazing
can
one.
look for. And I'll put a link to to if
My
you want to
website,
get
sure.
if you want to get hold of Vita. And I think Vita and I think something that we should do. We'll do a whole section on emotions and mental health, and we'll incorporate oils. We'll incorporate some of the work that we do as well, and that could be kind of a fun.
Yeah, that would be so fun.
Yeah, maybe a webinar even.
Yeah.
But so look for that, and so certainly hope you've enjoyed it. Any last words, Vita?
No, I want to encourage people that if you're new to essential oils, just do your research. Make sure that you resonate with a specific product or company, because that's really huge. And like I said, you really want to definitely ensure that you're using a grade A therapeutic oil or oils, and you just want to make sure that you know where you're getting your oils, and just I guess a little tip just so that you can understand this, because I've been so long in this industry and have done my own research. 98% of this industry, unfortunately, Jillian, is actually adulterated. Can you believe that?
You know what? Yes, I can. Just being in the
food industry,
food industry, and it's so frustrating. You see a product, you think, oh, fantastic, this looks so amazing, and then you start to read the ingredients, or even you start to research where this product is coming from, and then you start to see, oh.
It's not as
what you think. So totally get that, but it's like 98%.
98% of the industry is adulterated. Hence the reason why, for me, I've been doing this for 10 years, a little bit more than 10 years now. And so when I go into Canadian Tire and or Walmart or Winners, some of our like Canadian owned companies, not all Canadian, but Canadian Tire is. When I walk into those kinds of stores and I see essential oils being sold, it's, for me, that's a red flag.
And cheaply.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So everyone and their brother want to sell essential oils because they know that it's the big hype, right? It has been for quite some time, and so that's why you don't want to be misled. You definitely want to do your research. You want to know where you're getting your oils. You want to feel confident and trust in the mission and philosophy of the company, and that they're 100% pure, 100% pure therapeutic grade, so that you can utilize the oils therapeutically to help keep you and your family healthy and well.
And you know what? Health does cost. If you want to be healthy, it doesn't have to be expensive. You could buy one oil once a year if you want, or every, you don't have to have the whole caboodle that
that I have.
But in food, I know that I spend a lot of money on buying organic, on buying specific foods, and I don't waste my money, because for me to go eat junk food, it may be cheap for the moment, but in the long run, we all know, right? So let's not do junk food essential oils. So let's not do junk food essential oils. Let's start to get these really good products. So it's good that there are these amazing companies out there, and I know I've read the company that Vitas sells. I've read where their farms and how they farm and their farming practices.
Sourcing, amazing.
It's amazing to see the work that's done, and to see these companies, not even essential oils, but there's some other companies that are rising, that have integrity. So
for sure. That's a key thing for me too. I don't just partner up with anyone. I want to make sure that the company itself has integrity, and that I believe in the product. And like I said, I've been doing this for 10 years, and so I've had my share of experimenting with different kinds of oils and different companies, and I've definitely found one that I've fallen in love with, and it's been great. So if you want to find me, you guys, you can find me on Instagram at mgraceu, or on Facebook, Love Yourself Happy.
I will put the link down below, so you can click on that and